Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We appreciate everything you guys do. We're growing, we're getting a lot of subscribers every day. We really appreciate it. Today we got something special. I'm here with Daniel, co-host Jack.
Howdy.
And we're excited to be here. As you've already gleaned from the title, this is a shootout of the heavyweight contenders in the small concealed carry, micro carry class. Springfield Armory's infamous Hellcat, new on the scene. When did that come out, Daniel?
I believe it was fourth quarter of 2019.
Excellent. And then the Sig Sauer Classic P365, which came out in roughly early 2018 and was the gun of the year. One of the things we did is we went out and spent several hundred rounds to orient ourselves with both pistols. Full disclaimer, Jack and I own this one. So we've shot this historically in the last year. How about you, Daniel? Have you?
I don't own it, but I've shot it quite a bit. We have both of these guns through our rental program. We did just recently pick up the Hellcat, but we've had the 365 back there for a little over a year now. So I've got the most experience with that gun over the Hellcat.
Absolutely. And both these guns are unloaded. Okay, you've seen probably 1,000 videos online, up close, tabletops of the features. There's even a lot of head-to-head comparisons of the various models, and rightfully so. What we're doing is a little something different. We're gonna go out to the range, shoot them. We've got experience, as I said earlier, so we dusted off some cobwebs. For me, it was the first time Jack getting hands-on with this particular one, so we're kind of developing an awareness in how the guns handle, how they shoot, that kind of stuff. So back inside here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a scoring system. We're gonna give you our feedback, and that's what's new and different. We're gonna explain why. So we're gonna give you a number, we're gonna give you a little commentary from 3 different shooter perspectives, and we're gonna go across the 4 main categories: reliability, accuracy, customization, and ergonomics. And at the very end, we're gonna give you an overall cumulative score. We're gonna do it on a scale of 1 to 10. So we're gonna judge the Hellcat, then we're gonna judge the SIG P365. We'll give you our numbers, add it all up, should be fun. So stay tuned. Guys, we're doing warm-ups, 21 feet. Yours truly just did a 5-round group right there. That is with the Hellcat. My mouth has hit the floor, I don't know what to say. That is a 5-round group. Unbelievable. We're gonna start with the incumbent first. Jack's up first. He's gonna do 5 rounds with the SIG P365. Then we're gonna switch and do 5 rounds with the Hellcat.
See what happens.
Jack, ready to go at 21 feet. There's always one.
Well, not always.
Jack with the Hellcat. Sweet. Your last one was an X-ring.
Okay, let's have a closer look. I'm not shooting well today. You know, we see we got a couple on the edge of the X-ring, 1 in the 10, and then those 2. Over here, overall, I don't know. The groups are not a whole lot different. I did get the X-ring there, and some fell outside with the Hellcat. I'm a little conflicted over this.
Conflicted.
I like my 365. I didn't want to like the Hellcat this much, but it is what it is.
7 yards, just inside, 21 feet. Daniel's up with the P365.
Let's give it a shot and see what we can do with it.
Great shooting. Switching over to the Hellcat.
Let's check them out. Sig, not bad. And then Hellcat. So my thoughts on the Hellcat, the trigger's a little odd to me. They do flat face, but the way that they built in the trigger safety for me causes me a little bit of a harder time actually getting a full compress of the trigger and being able to do it evenly. So because I shoot off the crease and not the pad, it makes it a little bit more difficult for me personally to get a clean press of the trigger. Whereas the 365, because it's just a flat, more even face, you don't have that trigger safety protruding out of the lip like a Glock does. It makes it easier for me to get a clean trigger press. So my vote personally is I'm leaning more toward the 365, but we'll have to get in the classroom and actually do some trigger talk to really figure out which one's going to come out on top. But either way, I'm happy with both groups.
All right, we're giving it a go. It's my turn now. 5 shots out of the SIG with the extended base plates, by the way, on both guns. We're keeping it the same. Classic SIG. This is the winner. This is the champion on top right now. Let's go. Hellcat. Let's give it a run. Let's walk, check it out. I can't see that far, so I have to get down here and take a look. Okay, I'm happy that I got decent groups. So I'm in the 10 ring, got 2 X's. We do the, if it touches the line, it counts. So 3 X's, 2 10s. I actually like that group. That's a nice pattern for me. No El Snachos. Okay, over here, oh my gosh. This is pretty good as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. This looks like a double to me. What do you think, Daniel? Is that a double?
I would say that's 2.
All right, I got 2 touch-in, 1 X, 3 X's, and 2 10s. This is tough. During warm-ups, I had a phenomenal group for me. A lot of times, small, micro, and compacts, I generally have I shoot a little to the left, just how I am as a shooter. I actually shoot this one pretty good. I'm very, very surprised that my stuff is more centered here. If we look back at the SIG, this group isn't bad either. It's pretty centered, but it is a little leaning a little left. But both of these are fantastic for me. I have no other commentary at the moment. I'll save it for the tabletop and the scoring when we go inside. And I just wanted to set the record straight that we did shoot a lot of rounds prior to this. Each of us, since it's our first time shooting the Hellcat, for Jack and I, Daniel and Mike Vickers had shot the Hellcat previously, but for us to get the baseline of the Hellcat, we put about 50 through it on these guns. And of course, we have our SIG as well that we're more familiar with over the last year. All right, let's take it inside. First category, what we'll do is we're gonna go, Daniel, you're gonna go first.
Okay.
Have Jack go second, and then I'll give you mine. So first category, we're going with Hellcat, reliability.
So my take on reliability, since we are grading them from 1 to 10, so I give it a 9, and here's why. It was almost headed for a perfect score of 10 for reliability, but I saw both Justin and Jack have a failure to go to slide lock on the last round. It did not happen to me, but it did happen to them, so that's what's going to let me come in at a 9. But other than that, it ran flawless and no other issues. And I believe I graded the SIG at a 9 as well.
Yeah.
I'm at the same score on both guns that Daniel is for the same reason. We didn't have any serious reliability problems with any of these guns, but I do wonder why the Hellcat did not go to slide lock a couple times for 2 of us.
Right on. My score is based upon other research in the internet. I'm going with a 9 on reliability. I've seen a 20,000 round torture test on this gun. That's pretty impressive. They were doing all the maintenance intervals, changing out all the guide rods according to manufacturer specs. I was very impressed by that. And we all know about the P365. Of course, we have a video on that. Rolling upgrades. Last year, there was a small percentage of failures early on to less than 5%. So in that regard, I'm gonna give this puppy a 9, and I'm gonna rank the SIG 365 an 8. All right, our next category is accuracy.
All right, I gave accuracy with the Hellcat a 9 as well, because when it comes to accuracy for me, there's a lot of factors. There's user errors, there's flat triggers versus curved triggers. I don't truly believe that any gun can fall into a perfect 10 from an accuracy standpoint, just with where we are from technology standards nowadays. I would grade it a 9.
All right.
I scored both guns a 9 in accuracy. They're both, I think, about as accurate as a subcompact gun can be. One is just as good as the other as far as I'm concerned.
Gotcha. Tough one for me. Accuracy wise, 21 feet, 7 yards, Hellcat was up first. I had dry fired this guy. I hit the X. Very first shot ever, X. I preceded it with the next 4 shots. They were in the same hole, all touching. One of the best groups ever. And I don't have live footage, but I did take a picture. So you gotta trust me on it. Daniel was my witness. Best grouping ever with any handgun for me at 21 feet ever. Hellcat. I can't explain it. SIG P365, as I said earlier in the footage, I'll pull left, I'm having to sink more finger, so it's only natural for me to get on it. I'm going with my accuracy, relatively speaking to this, with an 8 on this.
What rating did you give the Springfield?
I'm giving this a 10.
Getting close, man.
Yes, it
Right
is.
down the wire.
I'm giving it 10.
Getting close.
I didn't expect it, but that's what I'm giving it. Customization.
I'll speak on customization for the Hellcat first, because the gun just came out. The magazine availability is an issue right now. You can only get them through Springfield. Not a lot of aftermarket companies coming out with things as of yet. You don't have a lot of trigger options. But I think my take on customization is I believe I'm going to give that an 8. Now the 365 on the other hand, it's been out for a little while now. You had 3 different magazine configurations. As of this moment, you have a 10 round that comes standard with the gun, and you also have a 12 round and a 15 round option that we have laid out here on the table. Holsters are readily available as well for the 365. Just about everybody's making something. Different sighting options as well, whereas holsters and things like sights and mags are just hard to come by right now for the Hellcat. So got to go 10 there and then 8 on the Hellcat.
In customization, I gave both guns an 8. You have, this gun has an optic cut, this one does not, but there's a version of this one that does have an optic cut, and I understand there's a version of that one that does not have an optic cut. For the optic cut version of this one, SIG still has Romeo 0 if they'll ever get it out.
Okay, and for me, I'm going with an 8 on the Hellcat. Not a lot of options. I do like the fact that it's got a standard Picatinny rail, even though it is a smaller rail. There are guys putting on some lights on there. They're working today. SIG, I'm going with a 10 on customization. I'm giving them a discount that they're going on proprietary SIG lights and lasers for their system, but it's everything else. It's the aftermarket support, the flat triggers, and then it's all of the other options in the SIG lineup. The SAS, the 365 with manual safety, as well as the XL. So, customization 10 there. Ergonomics.
So this is a big one for me. We got trigger time prior to the video on both guns, and the more I shot it, the more I just wasn't able to get on board with the ergos on the Hellcat, man. It doesn't sit right in my hand. I can't explain it, but it's just the way my hands are built. I'm not a fan of the ergos. So I'm going to give the ergonomics on the Hellcat an 8, whereas the 365 on the other hand, with the different magazine options and just the grip angle and just the overall ergonomics on the 365, it edged it out. I gave it a 9. So far in my book, the 365 is slightly ahead up to this point.
Okay, Jack?
Well, for ergonomics, I give the P365 a 10 because of all the guns, this one feels better in the hand to me. I gave the Hellcat in ergonomics a 7 because it looks like they tried to give it a flat trigger, but it's not quite flat. It doesn't feel good. The grip angle is different. It just doesn't feel as good in the hand as this one does.
Okay, and for me, I'm giving ergos a 7 for the Hellcat. You do feel the trigger tab on the finger, but more importantly, I kind of align with Daniel. I love the fact that it's got the stippling in all the right places, and I really love the shooter's pointing index here on your support hand. But even though a lot of folks are really raving about the grip texture, kind of the stippling job, I actually find that it's not as aggressive as my personal style. I like a more aggressive stipple. So I prefer the 365 grip, and as well as some of the small nuances. If you notice when you look at the grips, one is more angled and one is more vertical. There are slight differences. You really can't tell and put your hands on it. So for me, SIG P365, 10, Hellcat, 7. All right, now the scores are in. The shooting is done. Let's tally it up and see where we stand. And Jack is our official record keeper. So Jack, take it down from the top for us. And remember our point scale, 1 to 10. And then we're going to do an overall combined Guns and Outdoors channel number. We're going to select a winner.
A perfect score for a gun would have been 40 because we were working with 10 points in each of 4 categories. Daniel gives the Hellcat a 34, the P365 a 38. I gave the Hellcat a 33, the P365 a 37. Justin gave the Hellcat a 34, the 365 a 36. So we all picked the 365 in the scoring system as the winner. Daniel and I have the 365 by a 4-point margin. Justin has the 365 by a 2-point margin because he shot the Hellcat so well right out of the box.
We're in the home stretch. We're working towards closing it out. We really focused on the newest heavyweight with the existing champion, head-to-head battle. You saw our results. It is subjective. We did our best to give you our numbers and explain why. You probably can't go wrong with either of these. You may have a different set of criteria or an opinion, and that's just fine. At the end of the day, they're both working pistols. Let's do final thoughts here. Daniel, I'll go to you.
Yeah, so just a couple things. These two are basically direct competitors, both in head-to-head and just in the gun world in general. If you're looking at carrying a little guy like this, the only way to really know which gun is for you is you got to shoot them, and you got to shoot them head-to-head. That's the only real way to figure out that this gun is better and have a category system like we have. I mean, you don't have to number it, you don't have to get quite that in depth, but focus on what gun feels the best, which gun is the most reliable, and most importantly, which gun do you shoot the best. Because ultimately, everybody's different, regardless whether it's concealed carry or personal defense. Come rent guns, shoot them, and ultimately it's your money that you're investing, so you better get what you want than rush a purchase and get something that you're not happy with and that you can't handle.
We all scored the 365 better. Neither one of these guns is a bad gun for the category it is, and there's not a dramatic difference in accuracy between the three of us, between either of the two guns. You may pick up the Hellcat and like it a lot better than the same way that the three of us like the 365 better. So either one is worth a look if you're shopping.
Wow, that was cool. As we close this video review out of Springfield Armory Hellcat versus the 6-hour P365, we 100% know that both of these pistols are dependable and will serve our CCW needs and requirements well. I love everything about my 365, but was so surprised with my own ability to shoot dang near lights out with that Hellcat. You never know, I may be picking up one very soon. Guys, Guns and Outdoors channel appreciates you. Thanks for watching. We're trying to get our subscriber count up, so give us a sub, give us some likes if you wouldn't mind. As always, we appreciate you. Make sure that you are out there carrying every day. Take care of yourselves, and we're out of here.